Hello and welcome to Lydia Hawk Designs. Today we're going to make my Crochet St. Patrick's Day gnome. Cute little guy I made in 2021. If you've ever made my Super Mario Bros. Doll, his body comes from the same pattern. You can place him around with your other St. Patrick's Day decorations. For a little while I had even ran some thread. You could use bead wire, but I ran some thread through his head and his hat and hung him from my rearview mirror. We're going to secure his hat down. I did not do that with this one. I'm also going to add a link to this free shamrock pattern, not my design. This pattern is free. Follow the link in my description to lydiahawk.com and download it at no charge. We're going to make him step by step. And as you can see, you can have fun with the design. This is my Valentine gnome, and his beard is a lot longer. His hair and his beard are a lot longer. You can have fun with the embellishments. So let's go over our materials. You will need your pattern. You need 5 skeins of yarn. I use Red Heart Soft and Caron because they're soft, shiny acrylic and just look and feel really good. We need doll stuffing, an H8 5mm crochet hook, tapestry needle, stitch marker, a ruler for measuring out our strips of hair, and scissors. Let's start with color A. We need a slip knot. We're going to tuck this tail into the shoe so we don't need a long tail. We're just going to make a loop. I'm going to go in with my index finger and my thumb and pull the longest side through and then secure it to my crochet hook. With color A, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into first chain, forming a ring. So the very first chain, I'm just going to pull that all the way through. I'm going to find the center of my ring, so it's right there. Round 1, single crochet 4 into ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into single crochet. So our first single crochet, we're going to slip stitch. So we're just going to pull it all the way through, chain 1, and place marker. This is the bottom of our shoe. Round 2. 2 single crochet into each stitch around. So we're going to increase our very first unworked single crochet. We're going to go in, twice. So 1, 2. We're going to do that all the way around. Slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. Round 3, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to increase all the way around. So 1, 2, slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. Round 4. In back loop, single crochet 1 into each stitch around. So we're forming the base of our shoe here. So we're going to go into the back loop of every stitch. So the one farthest from you, and single crochet all the way around, 16 stitches. slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. Round 5. Single crochet 1 into slip stitch space just worked. This will allow us to keep a straight seam as we move along in rounds. Continue doing this until otherwise instructed. This allows us to maintain a seam. Usually when you work in the round, you'll get a seam that travels all the way around your design. We want our seam to be in the back. So even though we're crocheting in the round, we're going to control our seam. And this is how I do it. Single crochet 1. We're going to start in this, which also incidentally means we're going to skip the last stitch. This will be in the instructions, but I'll show you what I mean. So single crochet 1. Now we're going to single crochet 3. So 1, 2, 3. Then it says invisible decrease 4 times. That means an invisible decrease means that we're going to decrease, but we're going to go into the back loop. So into the back loop of the first stitch, pull through, into the back loop of the second stitch, pull through, and then pull the final loop through 3 loops. We're going to do that 4 times. So this is 2. This is our second decrease. Making sure we go into the back loops. Do that again. This is the third decrease. And this is our final 4th decrease. The invisible decrease actually closes up the stitches a little bit. Otherwise, I find that the white doll stuffing shows through very visibly. Single crochet 4. So we're going to single crochet our last 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course, because we started in our slip stitch space and we only want to work the same number of stitches, we skip our last stitch. Slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. All of those decreases sort of shape our foot into this being more of like a front foot toe area, and the back will stay more straight. Round 6, single crochet 3. We're going to start in our slip stitch space until otherwise instructed. So starting there, 1, 2, 3. Invisible decrease 3 times, so into the back loops of the next 6 stitches. Here's our first decrease. So decrease. It's tricky with the black. It's hard to see. This is our second decrease. And our third. Single crochet 3, pulling color B through 2 loops. So I'm going in both loops, 1, 2, 3. So instead of finishing that last single crochet, we don't need a long tail, it's going to get tucked into the doll, so just a nice short tail there. We're skipping the last stitch and then slip stitch, chain 1, place marker. This is a design choice on my part. I want to join the thread instead of just adding it as a chain 1. Round 7. Single crochet in first single crochet space, not slip stitch space. So our next available single crochet, as you normally would, it says single crochet 1. Okay, so 1, single crochet 6, 1, single crochet 2 together, and of course we're not skipping any stitches, so it just says slip stitch. So we're going to slip stitch into our marker space, chain 1, place marker. And we've got our little shoe. Now I'm just going to loosen that and go ahead and tuck those loose pieces of thread in the toe area, just to kind of get it out of the way. And I'm going to cut my black yarn. And do the same. So we want to pause regularly to add doll stuffing. Not quite ready for doll stuffing yet. Round 8. Single crochet 1 into slip stitch space just worked. So we're back to controlling our seam. So right into that stitch we just used for our slip stitch, we're going to single crochet 1. Then it says single crochet 7. Skip the last stitch. Doing that always leaves us with an extra stitch, so we're going to skip that one. Slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. We've got a little shoe here. Round 9 through 10, repeat round 8. And then bind off. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put some doll stuffing into this little shoe area. Now, if you ever have trouble getting your doll stuffing in because you've crocheted really far, you forgot, a pencil end is really good for getting it in there because it's got the grip and the shape to push it down wherever hard, difficult, remote spots you need to go. I'm just going to work 2 more rounds, identical to round 8, and then I'm going to bind off because it's the first leg. So into that slip stitch space, and then 1, but we are going to bind off. It says bind off first leg, not second. Our second leg, we're actually going to use the thread to join our legs and make the bottom of the body. So I'm just going to and there we have our first foot and leg. So just pause here and go back if you need to follow the video, and we will meet back up after both of our legs are completed. And remember, don't bind off on the second leg. now we're meeting back up to join the legs and begin the torso. Round 1. We have our uncut strand of color B from our second leg. With color B from second leg, single crochet 1 into slip stitch space just worked. So 1, single crochet 1. Okay, so we're going to single crochet 1 more. Single crochet 1 into number 8 stitch of first leg. And then it says single crochet 1 into number 9 stitch of first leg. So if we count from this very first visible stitch, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to crochet into this stitch just before the last stitch of our knot area. So I'm going to go into this number 8 stitch, and I want to make sure that my yarn is pulled tight so both legs are up against each other. I'm going to single crochet 1. So 1, and then the number 9 stitch is basically right at our knot area, so that's number 9. Then it says skip first stitch, so we're going to skip this very first one next to the knot. So skip number 1 stitch next to bind off knot and single crochet the next 5 stitches. So we're skipping this next one, going right into number 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet 2 together, the last of leg number 1 and the next stitch to last stitch worked in leg number 2. So this is the very last stitch right here. We're going to start a single crochet 2 together or decrease, and then the very next unworked stitch of leg number 2, single crochet 6, 1, 2, slip stitch. So slip stitch into our marker space, chain 1, place marker. And now we're going to round number 2. Single crochet into next stitch, not slip stitch space. Okay, so we're going to skip our slip stitch space and go right into the very next and single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to 2 single crochet into the next single crochet. So let's work 2 into the next stitch. Then it says repeat from asterisk to asterisk around. So we're just going to continue to single crochet 3 and then make our increase. Slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. Round 3, single crochet 4. So we're going to go into the very next unworked stitch and single crochet 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet 2 into next. So we're increasing 1, 2, repeat from asterisk to asterisk around. So we're just going to continue to increase. I'm going to go ahead and pause here to add some doll stuffing. I just want to make sure my loop here is loose so my pattern doesn't unravel. Now we're going back to controlling our seam. It says single crochet into slip stitch space just worked until otherwise instructed. Single crochet 24. So right into the stitch we just used for our slip stitch space. 1, skip last stitch, slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. Single crochet 2, so right into our slip stitch space, and then the next unworked stitch. Single crochet 2 together, 1, 2, that's our decrease, and then repeat from asterisk to asterisk around, pulling color C through last 3 loops. There are our final 3 loops, and now we're going to use color C skip the last stitch, slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. Round 6. Single crochet 2, so starting in our slip stitch space, 1, 2, single crochet 2 together, so we're decreasing, single crochet 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet 2 together, repeat 1 time, so from asterisk to asterisk we've got single crochet 2, 1, 2, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 3, and single crochet 2 together. Skip last stitch. Just want to make sure it's tightened down. Slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. And I'm going to go ahead and trim color B and tuck both of those tails into the torso. Round 7, single crochet 1, so starting in our slip stitch space, 1, single crochet 2 together, 1, 2, repeat from asterisk to asterisk 1 time, single crochet 2 together, single crochet 2 together, repeat from asterisk to asterisk 1 time, single crochet 2 together again, and we don't need to skip the last stitch, we actually worked it. Slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. This originally was my Mario Bros. Doll, Mario from Mario Bros. And it is like most of my designs, a freeform crochet design. So a lot of this was just me making everything look the way I wanted as I worked, instead of coming up with a basic design. So starting in our slip stitch spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet 2 together. It's going to be 8. Before we finish the last stitch, we're going to pull color D through, skip last stitch, place marker, chain 1, slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker. You could just make this head color E, flesh colored, but it's a lot more difficult to mask the color. And since we're going to secure the hat down so it doesn't come off, we're just going to maintain this orange color no matter what. So there's no question that he is all hair, all beard. Round 9. Beginning in the next available single crochet 1, then 2 single crochet into next. So we're starting an increase for the head, and repeat around. So 1 and increase, there's no need to skip any stitches. We're not going to see the seam on this, so it doesn't matter if our seam travels. I'm going to slip stitch into marker space, chain 1. Before I place my marker, I'm going to loosen my loop. I'm going to cut color C and tuck it into the body and place a little more stuffing. Round 10, single crochet 2. So in the next unworked stitch, we're going to single crochet 1 and then 2 and then 2 in next. So we're increasing. And we're going to do this all the way around. 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, Round 11, single crochet 16. Round 12 through 13, repeat round 11. So 16 for 2 more rounds. Now we're going to start our decrease. And as we can see, as happens in the round, our seam is traveling, but we don't care because we're not going to see it. Round 14, single crochet 2. So, whoop. One, two, single crochet 2 together, and repeat around. Round 15, single crochet 1, and single crochet 2 together, and repeat all the way around. Before I even slip stitch, I'm going to go ahead and add some doll stuffing because we're about to close this up. And if you're worried about anything coming out, you can just use the middle finger of your left hand to push everything down as you go. Round 16, single crochet 2 together around. So 1, slip stitch, tiny little spot, pull it through and bind off. I'm just going to cut about a 6-inch tail. Mine's pretty loose, but the hat's going to cover it, so that's okay. kind of has a point to it. But that's good for securing the hat. There's plenty of head to attach to it. Just gonna take my tapestry needle and close the hole. I'm gonna go around the bottom where the two stitches, the bottom stitches are, in the last round. So that looks pretty good. One more time. And now I'm just going to weave in that end. Got a pointed head. That's funny. So now we have a body and a head. We're going to move on to our nose. I want a long tail for the nose. I'm going to secure it from both sides. I want it to be nice and sturdy. So I'm going to leave about a 10-inch tail and make my slip knot. With color E, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into first chain, forming a ring. Round 1, single crochet 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the first single crochet. Chain 1, place marker. Round 2, 2 single crochet into each around. So going right into the very first unworked single crochet space, we're going to increase by crocheting 2. We're going to do that all the way around until we have 8 stitches. Now I'm going to go ahead and push that little nub through. There we go. So I can see my stitches better. Round 3, single crochet 1, and then 2 single crochet into next. So we're still increasing. Repeat around, so 1, round 4, single crochet 12, round 5, single crochet 1, and single crochet 2 together. Slip stitch and bind off. Get a nice long tail, about 10 inches, so we can secure it to the face. I'm going to add stuffing. Now I'm going to use one end, and since my seam is right here, I'll start at the bottom, and I can just go right into the center orange stitch. Make sure that that's the base of my nose. And I'm just going to go all the way around and back and forth. So right now I'm in the head area. So I'm going to go into the next available single crochet stitch, secure it down, constantly just making sure it's centered as I go. And then I'll go into the next head space, and then the next stitch all the way around. And it doesn't matter if you have to kind of go backwards a little bit with your stitching to catch up with a stitch that you've missed or is next. You just undo your work when you're unhappy, but as you make these, you'll find that it's pretty straightforward. You just want it to be sturdy. The hair is going to cover any stitching that sticks out, but make sure, if you can, just to go underneath the nose so that you don't have to worry about it. You can finish by just finding a spot in the head, bring that through. We're going to go around one more time. And I'm just going to go through both at the same time because I don't have to go through them one at a time. It's already secured to the head. So I'm just going to do some quick stitching through the stitches I've already used, just to make sure it's not going to fall off. You always kind of have to worry that little kids will get a hold of things, or pets. And you got to make sure that these things are pretty sturdy so they're not a choking hazard. I would always recommend just making sure I would just always make sure these are not available to pets, babies, and toddlers. Now we're going to move on to our gnome arms, and we don't need a long tail. This is going to tuck right into the arm. So we're going to slip knot, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into our first chain to form a ring. Find the center of our ring, it's right there. Round 1, single crochet 4, so 1, and then slip stitch into first single crochet, space, chain 1, place marker. Round 2, 2 single crochet in each stitch around, so I'm going to increase slip stitch into marker space, chain 1, place marker, round 3, single crochet 8, pulling color C through last 2 loops. Okay, now I'm going to join color C. As you can tell, I have already cut my end. It's because I started with the wrong color. I started with the light green, which really doesn't matter. But technically our top is dark green, so I'll pull this through, slip stitch, chain 1, place marker. We're going to attach the arms right in here. So technically, yes, dark green. Round 4 through 7, single crochet 8. Round 5, single crochet 8. Round 6, single crochet 8. And I'm going to go ahead and tuck my loose thread in and add just a little stuffing to get it out of the way. Round 7, single crochet 8. Round 8, single crochet 8. I'm going to leave about a 14-inch tail so that I can go around the arm a few times. In fact, I think what I had been doing was just folding it in half. Yeah, I just flattened it and went through the very top. Or, sorry, I flattened it and went through the very bottom row. But there's the end. I'm going to start by going back and forth through the arm stitches to flatten it. Now I'll join and I'll just go back and forth along the very bottom. So I think right basically here, and just cover the span of like 3 stitch areas. So 1, go. Yeah. Tighten it real good. And then the last row here. And in fact, I can go through, I'm going to go through the top also and just make sure. Oh, that looks way better. That's better. Just make sure the arms are sturdy. Make sure all the pieces are sturdy. I'm going to pause here, go back and follow the video for the second arm if you need to, and then we will make our hat. Now that we have both of our arms attached, let's make the hat. The color C. And you know what? We could make this a little longer if we wanted to and weave in the end. I'm just going to make it short. It's getting tucked into the inside of the hat. So with color C, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into first chain space. So we're just going to pull that right through. Find our center. Round 1, single crochet 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into first single crochet, chain 1, place marker. Round 2, 2 single crochet in each stitch around. Round 3 through 4, single crochet 8. I'm going to go ahead and push this inside out. Round 4, single crochet 8. Round 5, single crochet 1, 2 single crochet, and next round 6 through 7, single crochet 12. So round 6, round 7, single crochet 12. Round 8, single crochet 2, two single crochet in next, repeat all the way around, round 9 through 10, single crochet 16, so round 9, round 10, single crochet 16, round 11, single crochet 3, two single crochet, so our increase, and then repeat around, round 12 through 13, single crochet 20, so round 12, round 13, single crochet 20, round 14, single crochet 4, two, 3, 4, two single crochet, so increase and repeat around, round 15, single crochet 5, two single crochet, and repeat around, and round 16, single crochet 6, 2 in next, and then repeat around. And then we're going to slip stitch and bind off. And I'm going to leave a really long tail. We're going to have to weave some of it back in through the hat and then attach it to the head. So about 2 feet, bind off and set aside. The last 3 rounds create the floppy, the fun floppy part. Cut 6-inch strips and use tapestry needle to feed through stitches from side to side. Tie in knot. Either dot the knot with fabric glue and allow to dry or leave as is. Keep doing this around nose and at back of head to desired thickness. Then use sharp end of tapestry needle to separate threads into single curly strings to desired effect. We've got one here that we can use for reference. I did not use fabric glue. I find that double knotting works great. We're going to start by measuring out some 6-inch strips. And again, you know, you can have fun with these. You can make them for any occasion, and you can make the hair and beard as long as you want. I think I cut maybe 10-inch strips for this one. And it says to start around the nose and back of head. So I'm going to start around, the base. Because as we add these, they're going to cover the lower stitches. So I'm actually going to start at the middle below the nose here. And I always end up having to trim them a little bit. Some are longer than others. So this is a good place to start. We want it to be even. 1, 2. So go right into the next stitch here. I'm just going to go all the way around the base of the head and then work my way up. Okay, now that we've gone all the way around the base, if you need to pause and let your fabric glue dry, that's fine. But once we're ready, we're going to go into each stitch. We're going to use our tapestry needle to unravel them and make them very hair-like. So just slowly and patiently separate each one. And it might even be easier to do this as you go. When you're done, your beard and hair should look something like this. And now we move on to the second row and we just keep going. And I went up to 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this one, looks like I skipped some stitches in the middle, but again, personal preference. Looks like I went up to 4 around the nose, and in the back, I only went up 2 rows. But it really depends on how thick you want the hair. My trimming was not very good back here, but I think what I'm going to do is, well, okay, so 2, 3, 4, right around the nose. So maybe 1, 2, right at the top of the arm. And then only do the second and third rows around the back. And when I'm done, I'll be able to trim everything. And I'm also going to fray them as I go because they're probably going to get a little lost in the other hair. And this way too, I can go ahead and reinforce the knot and then be done with it. And I'm just going to keep building. I'm going to keep building around the nose. I feel like there's a gap here, though. And once the hat is added, it really covers everything, so just build the thickness. I'm just gonna keep building around the nose right now. Okay, so I went 3 rows up around the nose, and in the back I stopped at 2 because I'm happy with that, but it probably needs 3 and I'm just being lazy. Actually, there's a gap. And I guess that's really what it comes down to. If you see a gap, just go ahead and fill it. Just be happy with what you end up with, I think. And double knot, because I think I was forgetting to double knot. But even with single knots, even though it comes loose a little bit, it's not like they're going to fall out. And you really don't want to give these to... I mean, you don't want pets and toddlers get hold of them because they're just going to put them in their mouth and it's just a hairy mess. So, yeah, there was a little hole there. I filled it. And don't get aggressive with the comb either. I just use the tapestry needle. I notice Caron yarn is a lot fuzzier. So after I trim, I'm going to have to pull some of the fuzz off of his feet. Literally just front and back, just trim to the desired length. Oh my goodness. I don't know. We need a little shape around the edge here. There we go. Oh my gosh. Very handsome. Very handsome ginger we have here. Okay, same for the back. Now we just need to attach our hat. So our tail is here. We're probably going to want to attach the 5th row, and I think loosely, nothing too crazy. We can start by weaving our end in towards the 5th row. So it's 2, 3, and I don't want to just go straight up. I am weaving it towards the 5th row. And I don't think I've ever attached my hats before, but this makes sense. So yeah, we work our way towards, where am I at? Basically right here. And starting in the back, I'm going to go into just the very back of the head right here, and then gently pull the end. So that's probably good. And then go in one more time and then through the hat in the same basic area. And start gently going through the head. And I'm gonna want to just kind of broadly go in without tightening it too much. And of course, if you wanted to do something with the thread, I guess when you were done, you could pull it right up through the top and attach it to something. And I think that does it. I think that is very secure. I can see a few of the areas, but they're pretty well hidden. You'd have to look really close to notice. So now I'm just going to pull it through and cut. There we have it. We have a very handsome St. Patrick's Day gnome with a beautiful haircut. And so cute. Pretty quick to make too. I mean, relatively quick. At the very least, make yourself giggle. Someone else. And of course, gnomes are adorable. For any occasion, you could make gnomes for Christmas. You just pick your colors accordingly. Thank you so much for following this tutorial with me and making St. Patrick's Day gnome. I hope you have as much fun making these as I do, and hopefully we will be doing this again soon. Until next time.